Hi, my name is Gina Garcia, and I work at Sustainable Works, a Santa Monica-based environmental nonprofit. On behalf of the City of Santa Monica's Office of Sustainability and the Environment, I would like to thank you for allowing me to share the 14th Annual Sustainable Santa Monica Student Poster Contest with you. I hope that you all participate. It's really fun. This year's theme is Do Your Part, Be Water Smart. Being water smart, what does that mean? Well, since rain is becoming so unpredictable and we're getting so much less of it, we must all do our part to conserve water by wasting less and being more efficient with how we use water. So in other words, be water smart. Are we in a drought? Well, what is a drought? A drought is the continued time of low rainfall leading to water shortages. And some places around the world, strict water conservation is a permanent reality. And I think we need to be that way here in Southern California as well. We're in a drought, then we're out of a drought, then we're in a drought. And I think it's confusing. I think in the climate we live in and with climate change, which we'll talk about in a little bit, it's getting, situations getting worse. So we really need to constantly take care of the water that we have and be efficient with it. A lot of people in the U.S. Take our water for granted. We don't value it. We go to the faucet, we just turn it on and it comes out. But really only 1% of the Earth's water is fresh water. And there are estimates that by 2025, 2/3 of the world's population will likely be experiencing water shortages. The good news, though, is LA has added about 1 million people in the last 20 years. But we haven't consumed any more water. We've been able to use the same amount of water with more people. So that's being water efficient, and we need to keep doing that. So California drought, yes, we're in a drought. The drought was declared in 2021, and it started with voluntary conservation, which means you didn't have to conserve. They were hoping that people would do it on a voluntary basis. Actually finding that they're not doing it as much as they had hoped. The goal was to save 10% from the amount of water that we were using in 2020. So go 10% below from what we were using in 2020. But actions that waste water have been prohibited. And even despite the lot of rain that we got this past winter, California is still in a drought. So let's just talk a little bit about that. One of the things that's contributing, of course, is climate change, because it means that we're getting areas with very little rainfall, but then we are getting some areas with a lot of rainfall, and neither one is good. When there's a little bit of rainfall, you have really dry areas, but when the rain comes down too hard and too fast, you can't capture that. It just washes away. So climate change is causing uncertainty. We can no longer count on past weather patterns, and our water supply is getting scarce. And this isn't just happening in California. The drought that we're experiencing is happening in the West. It's affecting Nevada. Pretty much anywhere west of the Rockies is being affected by this. So December did bring a lot of rain, more than normal. It was about 200% more than normal, which is a lot. But if you look at the picture on the left, December 7, 2021, that shows the different colors of how much it rains. The darker the color, the worse the drought. So that really dark red color, that's exceptional drought. And then if you look on the right, when you see the little yellow square up on the top, that is abnormally dry, and then it goes between there. So in December 7th, a good portion of California was in exceptional drought, but almost the whole state was in red, which is extreme drought. But then we got some rain. So if you look at the picture to the right, January, the extreme drought has gotten a lot less. So it's gotten better. And then this next slide is from February 8th, so this month. And you can see that the extreme drought, the red, is almost all gone. But if you look at the rest of the state, the light orange, which is moderate drought, and the dark orange, which is severe drought, are still there. So we are still in a drought. And even though we've gotten a lot of rain, we're not where we're supposed to be. So we still really need to be aware of this. So that's what's happening in the West, but what's happening in right here in Santa Monica. So what about our water? Well, Santa Monica provides about 10 million gallons of pure drinking water to 17,770 customers. That's not people, it's customers. So if you have a house with 4 people in it, you're still considered a customer. So there's a lot more people than that in Santa Monica, but that's how many customers are served. And the city provides us water 365 days a year. Now we need rain and snow to continue falling in the next couple months to replenish our depleted water state reservoirs and to get through this. So we need to pray for more rain. So Santa Monica's groundwater. The city has managed its groundwater for over 100 years. This picture that you see is from the 1930s. It's the Arcadia treatment plant. It's where our water is treated. And then this photo is the same plant in 2010. So a lot has changed. So the water from 3 wells comes together and arrives at this treatment plant, and it undergoes a process that makes it safe and usable. Most of our wells, we have some in the city of Santa Monica, but most come from LA. We get our local groundwater from wells in the city, but mostly from Los Angeles. And the groundwater is refilled or recharged by rain. So the more rain we get, the more our wells are filled. So using our water wisely, what is the city of Santa Monica doing to make sure that this water is used wisely and that the residents have the water they need? Well, what we're doing is we're creating new water sources. So the Santa Monica has 10 groundwater wells, but more wells are coming. They're also using something called reverse osmosis to provide high quality water. So not only are we trying to get more water, but we're trying to make it a higher quality. And they're also using advanced treatment systems to collect and recycle stormwater and sewage water, so that now instead of that water going to waste, we're recycling it and cleaning it so we can use it. And the city has a goal for water self-sufficiency. So what does self-sufficiency mean? It means that you're able to provide everything that you need for yourself without help from other people. So the city's goal is to become water self-sufficient by 2023. So if you look at this little glass over here on the right, it shows you where our water comes from. 75% is from our local groundwater, as I mentioned in the previous slide, the wells. 25% is imported, and that 25% comes from the Colorado River, which of course is not in California. And that river is used by a few states they get their drinking water from there. And then our water also comes from Sacramento up north. So 25% of our water is imported from either up north or from out of the state. The goal, though, is to get water self-sufficient is by 2023, which is just a year away. 95% of our water will be local groundwater, and only 5% will be imported. But the city's also upgrading water treatment plant and groundwater wells so they can increase the amount of local water we have as well. The city's also trying to save water by creating water efficient buildings. They want to make sure our buildings save water. So there's something called water neutrality, and what that means is balancing the demand and supply of water through a deliberate intervention by the water user. So in other words, if you have a building and it comes down and you put a new building in there, the new building can't use any more water than the previous building did. So it's not trying to use less water, that would be great, but it has to use at least the same amount or less. It cannot use more water. And then the city, has ways of implementing by water saving devices and things like that. So water neutrality is being neutral, not increasing your water. And then the City Hall has the City Hall East building, which is technology, it's innovation to help buildings become much more water efficient. This building has rooftop solar panels, and the water from the solar panels comes off and it's collected for purification, storage, and then to be reused later. This is a feature that no other government building in the region has, and it's among the first of any municipality in the world. So it's really high tech, it's really great. It's what we're hoping all of our buildings can become. And then just conserving or saving water. What is the city doing? Well, they're stop watering the medians in the roads, except if it's with recycled water. They have a cistern at Pico Library, and a cistern is a huge tank underground that collects water, and they collect that rainwater, they treat it, and they use it for flushing toilets. They're also replacing toilets and urinals with high efficiency fixtures, so fixtures that use a lot less water. And they're also replacing irrigation or watering systems that are not working properly, and they have better detection of leaks and better able to repair those leaks. So they also are offering water conservation tools. So these are tools that are free for residents and businesses to use to help save water. They have water efficient shower heads and faucet aerators that you can use and that you can get free from the city. They have dye strips to check for toilet leaks. Really cool. You put the dye strip in the tank. If the water, after a while you wait, if it comes out in the bowl, then it means you have a leak and you can fix it. They're offering hose shutoff nozzles so that you're not allowing your water just to flow freely from the hose and waste it. And they're also offering rebates, so they will give you money back. The rebates are for sustainable landscaping, something called cash for grass. And basically what it is the city will pay you to take out your grass and put in sustainable, climate appropriate landscape plants that don't use as much water. They're also offering rebates for high efficiency toilets, clothes washers, and watering or irrigation devices. So what can you do and what can your community do to be water smart and use water wisely? Well, inside, the top actions you can take is one, shut off running water. Wherever it is, whether it's you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, washing your face, the water shouldn't be running. And the reason the picture has coins coming out is because when you run your water, you have to pay for it. So you're wasting money if the water is running and you're not using it. You can also find and fix leaks, as I mentioned, with toilets or other leaks you can find in your house. That's just water down the drain. You can take shorter showers. If you have a hard time taking shorter showers, you can take less showers, just shower less often. You can install water-saving devices, like we mentioned earlier, and wash only full loads of laundry and dishes. You shouldn't turn on your dishwasher with only a few plates in it or your washing machine with a little bit of clothes. The top actions you can take outside. One, you can water your lawn wisely. You should just water 1 to 2 days a week. It's better to water less often, but for a longer period of time. It lets the water soak in and really gets to the roots. You can check your sprinkler system to make sure there's no leaks, or there's no overspray or broken sprinkler heads as it's shown in this photo. You can use a broom instead of a hose. It makes me crazy when I'm on my walk and I go by someone and they're hosing down the sidewalk or hosing down the street. It's such a waste of water. You can install a smart sprinkler control. And this is great because it waters based on the weather, the kind of soil you have, whether you have sun or shade, the plants. So it's really specific to your garden. So you're not just watering, without doing what's appropriate for the plants. You can water plants more wisely. Do it in the early morning or the evening so that it doesn't evaporate. Watering in the middle of the day is the worst because it's the warmest and the soil water evaporates. And then you can participate in the Cash for Grass Landscape program. Well, that's all about the problem that we're having with the drought and water and how you can, use water wisely. So now let's talk about the poster contest. So what we want you to do in the contest is to show us how we can be smart about our water use and be part of the solution. So the judging committee will choose winning entries in 4 categories. We'll have the kindergartners through 2nd graders competing together, the 3rd through 5th, 6th through 8th, and 9th through 12th. And in each of those grade levels, there will be 4 winning categories. So there'll be a grand prize winner, a 2nd place winner, a 3rd place winner, and an honorable mention winner. And then the entries will be judged on how original they are, how creative they are, and how well they show what this year says, which of course is do your part, be water smart. So this poster contest is open to all kindergarten through 12th grade students who live or attend school in Santa Monica. Only 1 poster submission per student. So if you create more than 1 poster, that's great, but you can only pick 1 to enter into the contest. Only original artwork will be accepted, so there's no copyrighted material. That means you can't copy someone else's idea. You can't copy something from a magazine or a book. It has to be your idea. The posters must be hand-drawn, so you can't glue or tape anything onto the paper. On white paper, you can use pens, paints, crayons, markers, pencils, or pastels. We are working to get you paper, the 11 by 17 inch paper that we usually use. We're struggling with it to get it right now. A lot of paper is out of stock. If we can get you the paper, then you can use that. If not, the paper has to be at least 8.5 by 11 inches. And you can do it either way. You can do it like across horizontal, or you can do it vertical. And the theme, do your part, be water smart, has to appear somewhere on your poster. And then all entries will become the property of the City of Santa Monica. we usually do give back the posters to the winners if they want them. And then make sure you must include your name, the name of your school, your grade, and your teacher's name on your poster on the back. Please don't do it on the front. We want to see your beautiful artwork on the front and that information on the back. If you don't put that there and we think your poster was great, we want to consider you to be a winner, and we turn it over and we have no information, it's very difficult for us to find you. And your posters are due April 1st, so you do have a bit of time. And we always end the poster contest with a celebration. Students, friends, family, and teachers are all included. This year's celebration will be Wednesday, May 11th. And we're not really sure where it's going to be. Due to COVID, we are hoping that we will be able to do it in person. This photo here is from last year's poster contest, which was virtual. And then this next one is from the last time, which was 2019, that we did it in person at the Annenberg Community Beach House. We had food, pizza, yogurt. Our hope is to be able to do it there outside, but we will let you know if that happens. And then we have prizes. If it's virtual, the prizes are just for the winners, but if it's in person, we have prize drawings that anybody can win. Well, that's it for the poster contest. Thank you so much, and I really hope that you participate in this year's contest. We look forward to seeing you, and thank you.